During the past decade, the art of interior design has become part of our everyday life. Genie Inge is going to share with us how the industry has changed in the past 20 years.
Harriet, I would say, was way before her time. She was a female. She was a businesswoman. I always used to tease her that she was a businesswoman before she was an interior designer, because and that's important. Not all of us creative people have that, but she certainly did. And she would let me, in other words, if she was busy, she would say, "Jeannie, how about pulling fabrics for a den? Here's the wall color, and here's this, and this is what's going in there." And I would pull fabrics for her, and a lot of them she'd say, "Oh, this is awful." No, she really never said. She was gentle and kind to me. But that's the way you learn, to be told the truth. And so through that process, you begin to understand the elements of design which are applicable in any art field. It doesn't matter if it's advertising, doing flowers, photography. It's all the elements of design that continue to work. And so as you make these different commitments of, say, interior design or flower arrangement, you begin to see how all this works. You know how you walk in a room and you say, "Oh, this is so pretty." Well, do you ever ask yourself, why is this so pretty? It's not just because the furniture is placed correctly or just because you like the color. It's all those elements working together. It's the same way when you look at a person that's well dressed. It's because all those elements are working. And she taught me to really see this. And then when you take an art lesson, you see it in what you draw. She might say, "Well, why do you have that tree way up in the sky when the tree has to be attached to the ground?" Well, that's kind of like you learn about line direction and how things have to be attached and be a whole and not detached. So it was the beginning of my beginning. And as time went along, I would start doing stuff on my own. I think she was pleased, and she would, if people came into her studio, she'd say, "Get Jeannie to help you," and then with that, because she approved of what I did, my self-confidence level was elevated, and I began to have more to come out of me to express. And so, as far as, and it's amazing how the interior design has changed. When I was young, there were 2 decorators in Mobile, basically, maybe 3. Bob Merriweather, Harriet Kelly, and Lucy Rollins. And they were all great. And 2 were female, because then a lot of females, I would say, more so than men, particularly in this area, there were not a lot, but were into design, maybe more than men, but now I would say as many men, or more so men than females. But it's moved so, I think the world has become so visual. I mean, for some reason, I can't tell you why, that or maybe we're all just actuating what we all have, because there's so many great young designers and well qualified. So it has changed, because to go from 3, I would dare say there was probably 30 really qualified designers in this area. That's a lot. And lots of young people coming on. And also I think schools offer this degree now, where when I was in school, this was not really offered. It was in the home ec department at Mount, home ec department at Alabama. Whereas now it can just be a main focus as far as your degrees and all. And there are so many schools that have around the country that offer this. And so there's just lots of learning going on.
It's obvious Jeannie finds a renewed sense of satisfaction in showing others how to capitalize on their creative talents.